Alright, in this video, this is a music lyrics alternative to azlyrics.com, and we're going to be using Genius Lyrics. I have a component, you can get it for free from my free components folder. It's called Genius Lyrics. I'm not going to dive into all of the regex for this tutorial because I've covered regex in many of my tutorials, and it is pretty similar to how those regex videos work. So check those out if you're not familiar with regex. However, I do want to point out some important things to you inside of this component, and to do that I'm going to go over to globals first. And inside of the globals we have three text globals: clean art, clean sun, URL. Clean art, clean artist. Clean sun, clean song, and then the URL. And the reason why we have to do this is because if you look up here at the URL at genius.com, we have the artist name, and then we have the song title. But in between every single word, we have a hyphen. And also, some artists, they may have symbols in their name. For example, Judah and the Lion, we have to get rid of the and symbol and replace it with the word and for this URL to work. Notice if I put the and symbol there and press enter, we have an error. So we have to replace that with regex. So if you have artists with apostrophes in their name, such as Jane's Addiction, we have to remove that. I will come back and show you that towards the end. So in clean art, what I've done is for Judah and the Lion, as you can see, I do have the word and, but if I delete this code and I start from scratch, I'm just giving you some pointers here. If I do MI artist, we have Judah with the and symbol and we don't have the hyphens. So the first thing I'm gonna go ahead and do is TC reg, and I'm gonna look for the spaces, the white spaces, and to do that, inside of the quotation marks, I'm just gonna put a space in between that first set of quotation marks, and I'm going to replace that space with a hyphen. Closing that up, now we have hyphens in between all of our words, all of our white spaces. Now let's take that and symbol and let's replace it with the word and. So let's do yet another TC reg, comma, at the very end, comma, let's search for the and symbol, and let's replace it with the word and. Close it up. Now we have the artist name matching the URL that you see right up here. So we have to do something very similar for the song title, and I'm going to go show you that. Clean song, or clean sun, but it stands for clean song. I'm just getting the music title, I'm searching for the white spaces, I'm replacing it with a hyphen. But obviously you can see you're going to have to go and search through all these symbols and compare it to the URL. But after a while, after you've added a couple of regexes to this thing, it should start matching quite a few songs, and I'm going to show you that right here shortly. So once you have those two sorted out, we have the URL, and that's going to be the URL that matches this up here. So notice I have https yada 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 genius.com/gvcleanart. So there's Judah and the Lion. I have a hyphen in between the clean artist and clean song. And then after that, I have another hyphen with lyrics, because every single lyrics is going to have hyphen lyrics at the end. Checking on that, and now we are ready to go to our text. And let me show you, this is where I'm not going to dive too deep into the regex, but I do want to show you one thing that I love about the HTML text converter. So I'm just going to delete part of this code here. And basically what this is right here is this the regex that I had to do to cut out, just like this over here. This regex string code thing that you see right here is the exact same thing that I have in my function in KLWP. But I have a capture group inside of that, and I have mentioned that in several regex tutorials. That capture group is what I'm capturing, and I'm referring back to it using that $1, and you can see that over here in regexr as well. And notice I'm getting this same stuff, and it has a lot of HTML in it. The P tags, the A tags, and all that stuff. I want to get rid of all that junk. So to do that, this was great. Let's do a text converter, HTML, and then let's close it up with the extra parentheses. And what that does is it gets rid of all of these HTML pieces, all of these tags, and it looks quite nice. And what I've actually done as well is I've centered everything up. I have it on a fixed width. But what I'm also going to leave it up to you is to check out one of my other videos as well on scrolling through the music lyrics. Obviously, we have to have a way to get through this to scroll through it. I've covered that in other tutorials. And here's another one for reference as well, regex and capture groups. This video here, I talk about the capture groups for regex, but again, there are several other regex tutorials on my YouTube channel. I encourage you to check those out. But by us just doing that HTML, I hope you do see how clean this thing is compared to how it looked over here at regexR with all the HTML in it. So here's another modification we'll have to do to the artist name. Jane's Addiction, we need to get rid of that apostrophe there so that we don't have it up here in the URL. So to do that, I'm going to come back to my code, and I've actually switched over to Jane's Addiction. So now if I go to the artist, notice we do have Jane's Addiction right here. So I need to do another TC reg. And to get rid of the apostrophe, I'm going to come over here to the end, comma, let's search for the apostrophe, and let's replace it with nothing, and let's close it up. Now we have gotten rid of the apostrophe. If I check that, let me go check my song title. Everything's good because we just saw it pop up. Notice it says Jane Says, and yes, there's the lyrics. And again, I'll leave it up to you to modify the names of the artists, the names of the songs, and add the scrolling technique that I've covered in many of my tutorials. And that's it for this video. I hope it helped.